tell you. You're welcome. Mr. Moyer.
Herb Moyer, Exeter. I'm also the president of the Seacoast Anti-Pollution League, and affectionately known as SAPL. We've been involved in this issue since 1969, when the plant was first proposed by a public service company. A lot of the changes that have been made to the plant over these past years, some of them are a direct result of our intervention, initially designed to prevent the operation of the license, and now designed to prevent the relicensing of the extension of the license. I'd like to inquire about the concrete again, but not just ASR. I would like to share with you some facts that are on record that do relate to structural integrity of the plant at various locations. It is a matter of public record that in the construction time period between probably 78 and 84, or maybe even a little bit later than that, Sylvia Kennedy was the Exeter Hospital emergency room, head of the emergency room at the Exeter Hospital. And Beverly Hollingworth was a state senator and later a member of the governor's council, executive council. There were efforts made in those years to look at the arrest records in the towns of Hampton Falls, Hampton, Seabrook, the surrounding area where workers would come and go. And it is, again, a matter of public record that well over 200 DWI arrests were made of construction workers both going to work and coming from work. So it's not just conjecture that there could be some problems with the cement. I taught at Winnacunnet High School right up the road for 19 and a half years initially, and then some other teaching. But I had numerous students who worked at the plant, and they knew where I stood. I was pretty vocal in the community. In fact, the utility had a dossier of me that a student told me once. They saw my record in their files. Students would come to me and tell me what had happened at the sort of construction party the night before, where beer cans and bottles were tossed into the cement pour. I heard later that workers even did some things as to pour baby oil into the cement in order to sabotage it. I don't know why they do that. But I'm concerned that there are significant voids in that concrete so that the structural integrity could be compromised in a seismic event, earthquake. And I'm wondering, do you, the NRC, or does the industry, does the utility have any process to sonically or using X-ray to test for voids in the concrete? Is there a process to do that?
Thank you.
I'm just going to give you a, thank you for the question, Herb. I'm just going to give you a general question. I'm familiar with test techniques that are available to the industry to use, non-destructive examinations, either pulse wave or echo wave, those sorts of test methods to look at the concrete to test its adequacy and how well consolidated it is. Well, in absence of that, another test method you could use is to look at it, and in the course of investigating this problem, to look at the soundness of the concrete. This utility has taken cores, and you can see well into the wall just what the concrete looks like. And except for the appearance of the degradation attributed to alkali-silica reaction, the concrete otherwise looks in good shape, and it doesn't have excessive voids. It doesn't have delayed entrant formation or other types of things you'd be concerned about for poorly consolidated or formed concrete. So there is a somewhat limited but a valid body of evidence now that's available to them and to us to look at as to what's the status of the concrete. Again, I don't want to go too far here because I haven't done an exhaustive review of everything that's in the allegation file that came up in the mid-'80s. I'm aware, though, some of those concerns that came up during the discussions between the employee legal process and the NRC. I remember that specific allegation. I do know that those sorts of concerns were looked at by the NRC and addressed back at that time. That's probably as far as I should go with that.
So as far as you know, there is no program to, in a comprehensive way, to look at the concrete of significant safety structures at the plant?
Through visual examination, there is a structures monitoring program that's been in place under another program called Maintenance Rule that's now being revised and upgraded and modified as a result of the lessons learned that are coming out of what they've recognized, the alkali silica reaction. So that's being enhanced now to take advantage of the more recent knowledge.
Would it be
where it goes, I think, remains to be seen. I mean, that's a topic that's still under review between us and the utility.
Would it be fair to say that visual inspection would not see any significant voids in the inside of the concrete? Visual inspection
From the I would agree with that.
Okay, thank you.
From the exterior only, yes.
Let me just ask, are you saying visual inspection now or visual inspection at the time of the pour? Because at the time of the pour, you will have quality assurance and quality verification done during the job. I don't know if NextEra has anything to speak on that, but I mean, the typical process for something like that is you will have a quality verification process where you have some people doing the work and other people overseeing it to ensure that you have an adequate pour.
Isn't it a fact that there were falsified X-ray records of welds in the history of this plant?
Again, I'll
On
speak
record.
to my personal knowledge that sort of concern was brought up in the early construction days.
Herb, you're true, you're accurate. That type of concern was brought up during the construction days. And again, I wasn't affiliated with the project then, but I've been with the agency for 37 years. I know people in the agency then who are still here now. And that issue was examined by the agency and resolved.
But the allegation was true.
There was an allegation to that effect, yes.
All right. The next person is Debbie Brunel.